Good afternoon. I'm Rhonda Sibilia, a proud member of the League of Women Voters, and I'm going to serve as moderator for County Commission District 1. There are two Democratic candidates for County Commission District 1 seat that will appear on the primary ballot. They are Mary Alford and Dijon Kane. Welcome you, and thank you very much for being here today. Now, Alachua County Commissioners are elected for a 4-year term with no term limits. Seats are elected by residents in that district, and at the time of the election, the candidates must live in the districts in which they represent. District 1 is kind of southwest Gainesville and going down the south and western part of Alachua County. The format for the forum will be as was previously. Each candidate will have a minute for their opening statement, and then they will have 3 questions, and they will have a minute and a half to answer. No, somebody messed up the papers, sorry. They will have a minute and a half to answer. There will be 3 questions total, and I'll rotate the order in which the questions respond. And as before, and I don't know if you saw how the sheriff's candidates did, but you'll be able to see the timer indicating that the remaining time at 30 seconds, and then stop when your time is up, please. We will now begin with the candidates' opening statements. You have 1 minute, and we will begin in alphabetical order. So, Mary Alford, would you please give your opening statement?
Good afternoon. Alachua County is a special place. It's full of really wonderful people, a really wonderful environment, and really awesome amenities like the cultural aspects of the University of Florida, our springs, and our nature. And that's one of the reasons I've chosen to stay here in Alachua County. I was born and raised here, went to P.K. Young. I went to Santa Fe College as a single mom with 4 kids. And I went to the University of Florida, and it took me 10 years, but I ended up with a degree in engineering and a master's of engineering. I've been a small business owner. I've specialized in sustainability and affordable housing and in the environment. I've also been broke. I've been housing challenged, and I understand the challenges that many folks here in Alachua County face. I believe our county government's doing a great job, and I would like to keep doing that job, and I hope that after this forum I'll have earned your vote in August. Thank you.
Thank you. Dijon Kane, may we hear your statement, please?
My name is Dijon Kane. I'm homegrown from Gainesville, Florida. I'm currently a business owner. I own Fortitude Security. I also train people for their G license and their D license in security services. Also, in this community, I was brought up at Gainesville High School. I also went to Howard Bishop Middle School. And I love to say that I'm an AGH baby because many people forget about AGH, but I was born there. It is so important in our county government that we have a leader that understands, a leader that won't leave the job or just come to the job for certain times or certain periods, but understand that we need a leader that listens, that cares, that understands the needs of the community. It's important that when you come and you talk to us, that we listen to what you have to say. And I love this community, and I'm ready to fight and continue fighting. This is my 3rd time. I almost won in 22, lost by 200 votes, and I'm not through. I'm going to continue until we push to the limit to get the leaders that we deserve. So I ask for your vote on the 20th of August. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kane, and thank you, candidates. We'll now move on to our prepared questions. You will have 1.5 minutes to answer, and we will begin with the second candidate alphabetically and then rotate the order in which you respond. So for our first question, we will begin with candidate Dijon Kane. The county has recognized the importance of climate change and has started implementing policy changes that include resiliency and mitigation. What steps do you think the county should take next to ensure that we collectively reduce our local carbon emissions?
Well, I believe that we need to get with our local companies and we need to talk about this issue, even with the community. Because one thing that's been left out is our community as far as talking to them, seeing and letting them know that, hey, climate is real. Climate change is real. I was speaking to someone before I came in here, and we were just talking about how real it is, and we have to take it seriously. But we also got to really, really talk to the scientists. We got to really, really talk to our people in our community and see where they're staying with that, and we work together. That's one thing we're missing. We got to work as a team to get climate change where it needs to be and hear everybody's opinion, and let's work from there to get it done.
Thank you. Ms. Alford, your response, please.
Thank you. The county, when I first was elected 4 years ago, I started serving on the Water and Climate Advisory Board. This is a joint board with the City of Gainesville. And we have ordered a climate vulnerability analysis that's being finished up this year. We have some, good and bad news in that vulnerability analysis, and it's going to require a lot of work to take that information and come to some good, strong policy changes to put those recommendations to work. We also have a citizens climate advisory board. That's one of our best climate advisory boards that we have. Some really strong, smart people sit on that. And we actually have recently had openings, so I hope that some of you look at that and consider applying if this is of interest to you. But we do listen to our citizens, and we do the work with the experts that are in our community, and we do have a lot of work to do. This is my field. I could spend a long time going down all the list of things that we need to do to lower our carbon footprint. But I will say that we are doing the work. We are lowering our carbon footprint with each of our construction projects, with each of our choices, with the fact that, I'll leave it at that, but we can talk about this for a long time upstairs later. Thank you.
Thank you. And our next question starts with you, Mary Alford. What strategy or strategies will you employ to respond to public concerns and criticisms?
Strategies, very general question. I think the number one strategy is to hear the concern. And sometimes when people come to you with a concern, it's not what they're saying at the face that's a deeper, more entrenched concern that's there. And so hearing what our community has to say with an open mind, with doing the background research into what's being said, and understanding that when person after person after person comes to you with a problem and other people say it's not a problem, it probably is a problem. We've been hearing housing was a concern in this county for years and years and years and years, right? Now we have 60,000 people a day that commute into Alachua County because they can't afford to live here. So we didn't listen to their concerns. We didn't address that back when it would have been a much easier thing to accomplish. So I believe that the number one thing to do is to hear people and believe them when they say they have a problem. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Kane, your response, please.
So, first of all, I believe that we must hear the need, we must spark the change, and we must save the people. So those strategies is what we need. First of all, I think the county commission does a great job with that, but I think we can sharpen up. The race that we're in right now, it's a district race. So what are the needs of Archer? What are the needs of Micanopy? What are the needs of Southwest Gainesville? That is important. And I think being accessible and also allowing them to call you. For instance, with my campaign, since we started, you can call and we'll talk to you right away. 352-283-0288. And that's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call, ask questions. You can donate or whatever you need to do. But we have to have those line of communications open. And not just that. If you call my cell phone and you say, Mr. Kane, I want to go to lunch. Well, let's go to lunch on me. It's important that we have that feeling and not just talk about that feeling. Far too long, we've talked about it, but there has not been any action. And with my leadership, I'm ready to bring that in. And I've been doing it the whole time I ran. I did it in 22, and I'm going to continue to do it because that's what we need. Someone that understands the needs of the people and they're accessible to our constituents.
Thank you. You may be facing a lot of lunches in the future.
I'm ready.
And for our next question, we will begin with Dijon Kane. How would you describe the balance between progress and tradition in Alachua County?
Well, let me say this. We are making progress. We are, but it's not quick enough. We've been left behind too long. We have too many things troubling our communities and too many things that people are dealing with. Too many governmental entities, Archer, Micanopy, they're dealing with water issues and infrastructure issues. We shouldn't have that. We have the resources, so we got to work with them to get that done. So the balance is okay, but I believe the balance can get better with better leadership, better communication, working together, all to just make it work. We got to work together. That's just the key thing. We got to stop choosing what we're going to do, and we got to work with our municipalities and work with our mayors and make sure that we work hard to get it done. Thank you.
Thank you. Mary Alford, your response?
I remember the meeting where they made the decision to take down Old Joe. Old Joe was a Civil War statue that sat on the green at the Alachua County Courthouse. And there was a lot of discussion about tradition. And then I was there just this past year after Old Joe had found another home when we put up a new statue called Sankofa, and it was in honor of a woman named Patricia Hilliard Nunn, who was a true visionary of progress, while she also, valued the tradition of many things. If you knew her, you'd know what I was talking about. But watching that new statue be unveiled and seeing progress was real valuable to me. And I think there's a role for tradition. I think that we have to carefully evaluate the traditions that we have in our community and see where they fit our needs today. See if they are honoring our values and our commitments today. And sometimes those traditions are important. The tradition of government, the tradition of public discourse, the tradition of government itself. But there's also a time for progress. Thank you.
Thank you. And this ends the panel for County Commission District 1. I want to thank you candidates for being here.